Wave at the people. Come down here.
Yeah.
How you doing? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drone Therapy Season 5, Episode 31, my birthday party.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah!
I really need to equalize my music, but I tend to blow everybody out every week. But I need to stop that, I really do. But I'm glad to have everybody here, glad to have everybody with us. So it's going to be, and I told people earlier I was going to be drinking, but considering I'm a lightweight now when it comes to alcohol, I'm only going to be able to probably drink one. And I don't think it's going to be this one. This one's scary. I'll have to get a different one. But anyway, so I'm going to drink one to celebrate, but I wanted to say thank you to everybody who was here. I'm hoping I'll have a few more people come in. And I'm going to let them, while I go grab another one real quick, let them go around the room, starting with John, and say what they're up to and what's going on with them and yada, yada, yada. John.
Well, I was going to say happy birthday to Bill. Good to be here, guys. It's really, really hot by me, so I haven't been doing that much flying. I'm looking forward to things cooling down. How about you guys?
Same here. I got Chris, Doc Murdoch's going to be here Sunday. We're going to get some drone flying. Hopefully I'll get my
Cool.
5-inch working. Just having a heck of a time trying to bind it because I found out where the button is and it's in a place where I can't reach it. So I'm going to have to take the top off and get to it. And
Yep, that's always a pain. That's always a pain
top
in the
off.
ass.
He took her top off. What? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
I was at Sturgis.
Oh, okay. So, I found the one I wanted, and I will show you what it is.
All right, go ahead, Bill. And
Wait, it's called the Buzzball Pineapple Colada Chiller. Yeah, chiller.
Cool.
And the cool thing is Buzzballs are actually owned by females. The whole company's owned by a bunch of ladies. I thought that was kind of cool, and they called it Buzzballs. And everybody knows that I have a kind of an attachment to them. Okay, never mind. Okay, anybody did I cut anybody off? Who did I cut off? Art, did I cut you off?
Yeah, I have one thing for you, Bill. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bill. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Way to go, Art.
I have to admit
Very well done.
the president throws out the first pitch. I mean, that was awesome. I mean, that was better than Roseanne Barr.
Yeah. Well, at least I didn't grab myself.
Oh, or at least not that we could see.
Great.
Yeah.
All right,
Then
all right,
I might
all right.
need some of that buzz ball.
All right, yeah, all right. Wait. No. There goes the show. Yes, see,
Yeah.
that's the whole point. It's just my birthday. It's like anything. Yes, and I got this off of SD. And as you see, it's a 3DR solo up here.
Oh yeah, look at that little.
Yeah, I thought it was
silhouette. That's cool.
Yeah, and then it says, "I love getting high."
Dan, be proud.
Yeah, but of course I don't think Dan's watching. Dan's probably out riding his scooter doing something.
Yeah. It's a little Vespa.
No, he got he got something new because he said the motorcycle was beating his hernias. Anyway. So we can talk about whatever. I was telling Steve that we're welcome to talk about filmmaking, FPV, drones. I did want to kind of do a couple of things. I wanted to say drone delivery. Ha ha ha! Told you so. The Femi Mini. Ha ha ha! Told you so. And then as I say, the Xeno Mini Pro, even though it crashed, ha ha ha! I told you so from the beginning. It just blows my mind how everybody now is saying, "Oh, I think they're going to knock it out of the park with this one." I was like, I told you that from the get-go. But I knew that we all knew the Femi Mini from the get-go was probably going to be bad. It was going to be crazy. It was going to be wild, and it wasn't worth buying. Am I going to buy the Mini SE? No, because it's just a Mini and a Mini 2 packet. What was it I told earlier? I said the Mini SC is the Lexus of the toy drones.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Toyota. You take the skin off and you put another one on and you call it a Lexus.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, that's what it is, actually, right?
Yeah.
Where's that Mini 3 you've been promising us, Bill? You said July. It's August.
Hey, they won't send me mine either. What do you want me to say? But then again, we know that the Mavic 3 is not coming, or whatever they're going to call it, it's not coming even this year now. So there's not going to be a new. So it's going to be. So what? Here's the reason I think it's going to happen is because now that we know that the Hubsan Xeno Mini Pro is going to start shipping, we've seen a couple of videos that the obstacle avoidance and stuff actually works, and it works well. Now, granted, there are some things on the app that say, please be patient, coming soon. But I don't think it's going to take them that long to work those kinks through. The big thing that everybody was wanting was the obstacle avoidance, the 4K, and the frame rate and everything. I want to say hi to everybody that's in the chat. I'm just kind of talking right here. And in case you're wondering, I've already started drinking. But what
we can't tell the difference.
Oh. Okay. What's your opinion, John?
About which thing? Because there was a whole bunch of stuff that you were talking about there.
I was that's my whole point. I was giving off all kinds of subject matter that we could discuss throughout the show.
I mean, I guess as far as the Mini SE, I'm actually really glad that came to the United States, and hopefully it starts shipping to even more places. Not because I'm going to get it, but because I think that the Mini SE comes in at such a price point that it's finally going to maybe kick the ass of some of these other manufacturers who are really just putting out.
What happened?
I don't
I got
know.
the wrong one. It caused it to go up. Hey, I told you I was drinking. Damn it! All right. So
anyway, I think the Mini SE is going to kick the pants of some of these manufacturers that have been putting out just these drones that are weird to me. Like, for example, there's a new drone from SJRC, and it's 4K at 15 frames per second. And MJX, you know them, Bill, the bug stuff. Mm-hmm. They put out an unstabilized drone, again, shooting 4K, and I think it's like $180. It's like, what is the point of any of this stuff? I don't get it. Like, the whole
does it
lower
have GPS?
end. Huh?
Does it at least have GPS?
Yeah, it does, but like the camera is terrible, dude. It's just absolutely terrible. I don't know what these guys are doing. I mean, that's why I stopped playing with a lot of that stuff. It just, I would get it, and I'm like, what is this? What is this junk? The stuff we had 3 years ago was better priced, and okay, it may have done a little less, but I'd rather have a 720p camera running at 30 or 60 FPS that looked better than what they're putting out now. So, you know, I really hope the Mini SE kicks some of these manufacturers' pants, because all they're doing is just releasing junk and ripping people off at this point. I mean, that's really all it is.
Yeah, because, well, it's like I said, the Mini is just a dressed-up toy. The Mini SE is a dressed-up toy. Because, as we all know, the technology is basically the original Mini with a newer Wi-Fi system in it. Does it run the new batteries or the old batteries?
I think it runs a LiPo. It's a LiPo battery on the.
So it runs
Mini
the new
SE now.
It runs the new batteries.
So it's the Mini 2 body shell. Right. It's the Mini 2 body shell, so it runs quieter, as well. And what
probably
else?
Probably a little bit longer because
the props, stuff like that. Just a more efficient body shell.
And it's meant to kind of chew up the upper end of the toy market, right? That's what and like you said, if they're going to charge $100 and how much?
So that drone that I was talking about, the SJRC, is $230, and like I said, it shoots 4K at 15 frames per second. I mean, just a joke.
So yeah, so if DJI's going to sell that for $300, and then garbage is coming out for what you're saying, well, I mean, it's not a question anymore.
Yeah, it's really not, and hopefully it causes some of these manufacturers to, like I said, get a kick in their pants, because they're just selling junk at this point. They really are.
Okay, something else that I was kind of ranting about that I had heard behind the scenes earlier. I had heard someone was accusing another person of actually crashing their drone for views. And I'm like, okay, we got a bunch of drone pilots in here. Do any of us crash our drones on purpose?
No.
I've never crashed or lost a drone on purpose.
I'm like, I cringe if I nick a tree leaf, or I'll wet myself if it flips over in the grass. I mean, come on. But
now sometimes I let somebody else crash my drone for me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Or like, see if it can go swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got.
And make it underwater drone.
But here's my thing. I consider like the Xeno Mini Pro. We knew from the get-go it was going to be internal storage. We talked about it on here. Ron and Marcus talked about it on Drone Nation. I think even Mikey talked about it on Philly Drone Life with Ron one night. So we were all wondering if it was going to be, and even John was talking about, because we were pretty sure it was going to. Had heard there was going to be two sizes, the 64 and the 128, and we were like, well, if it's going to have that much storage in it, then it shouldn't be an issue. And we discussed that very thing here on the show. So that's how I know that we knew it. But to make a video saying that there was an SD card slot, or the possibility of one, that's just clickbait, man, because it wasn't. We knew from the get-go. And I'm sorry. And the whole point is when we get stuff like that, we kind of just tell everybody in Messenger and stuff and everything. We don't make videos just to get views. That's what we do for the community. We're not like... I
make videos to get views. I want all the views, Bill. What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking... I think there was an issue with the Mini one time, and Brian Singleton was having problems. And instead of me going out and making a video just to get views for me, I was telling him, hook it up to Assistant 2, reflash your firmware and stuff, and go with it that way. And Brian came out with the video like a day or two later and got like 5,000 views off of it. If I got a bunch of people here, I like talking, but I don't look at the camera enough to really keep up with it. And all these guys are like pros at it. And so
I think that people were just really hoping that the Hubsan had a micro SD card, even though when the specifications for it were released, an SD card was not mentioned at all. But then in the leaked videos of seeing the unit, There was a slot there. So there was some hope that maybe that slot is an SD card slot. It's funny because it actually comes with a sticker on it. We now know that it comes with a sticker over it that tells people, this is not an SD card slot, don't try to insert anything into it. It literally has that on there. So, obviously an SD card was planned maybe at some point in the design of the body shell, but they abandoned the idea. And I think that people were just hoping that its presence there might have meant that it was like a secret hidden feature. Personally, I think if it was, they would have said something. It would have been in the list of specified features.
I had mentioned.
Is anyone bothered by not having an SD card on board of the? I don't think it would be as long as the transfer rate from the drone was as good as one of these. I feel like it wouldn't be a make or break for me. I think there's a lot other things to be worried about the Hubsan than the onboard storage.
What is the transfer rate?
We don't know what it is.
Yeah, see, that's
we don't know what it is yet.
So that's the scary. Do you know what we're talking about, Steve?
No.
Well, I'll ask him. Actually, this would be an interesting question to ask him. So, Steve, there's this drone called the Hubsan Mini, and it doesn't have an SD card. It doesn't have a way to record to SD card. The storage is fully on board. You have it in 64 gig and 128 gig storage. How do you feel about something like that?
I wouldn't like something like that. I'm kind of old school. I mean, I like to. A lot of people maybe they like to transfer, just pull right off their drones and stuff. I always pull off my SD cards and plug it into my computer. Pull the stuff like all my footage off that way, pictures and stuff. I always like to have two copies, right? So I won't just pull it off the SD card and leave it in the drone. I take it out. I transfer it to my computer. I leave it on the SD card. It's on the computer. There's always two copies before I start messing with it. Make sure it's backed up first. So I don't like the idea of internal storage. You'll lose your drone. But what if you need more than what's on there? It's like your phone. You're locked into that storage space, right?
Yeah. I feel like for me, I don't usually need more than 128 gigs for like a day of flying. I mean, I almost never fill that card up in a day of flying. So by that standard, for me to take the drone home, plug it into my computer, and dump the footage, like it wouldn't bother me that much. But I'm also like you, where I like the ability to swap the card out if I feel like doing it.
Yeah.
It probably would, for a mini drone, like the Hubsan Mini or something like that, it probably wouldn't be, it probably isn't make or break for me. I would still consider something like the Hubsan Mini since it only has onboard storage.
And the obstacle avoidance on a mini drone.
Yeah, it has obstacle avoidance and all this other stuff.
Yeah, like I try, like, we've all made that mistake where you've formatted a card or deleted footage. So like I like that ability to pull it out. I try never to delete. Like always have multiple copies, that kind of thing. So onboard storage is not appealing to me, but it really depends on your workflow. Everybody's going to be different. Everybody likes it different. So some people might think, hey, that's just way easier for how I fly and how I manage my footage and stuff.
On the upside, for a lot of new people, it definitely would resolve a problem that a lot of people have with using inadequate micro SD cards. There are so many people that use the wrong card, and there's nothing that ever tells them that, so they end up going to the groups and are like, it keeps stopping recording, what do I do? So they do kind of eliminate that problem with the onboard storage.
My girlfriend always tells me,
hey Jim,
she's always mad that I have an inadequate SD card.
but she's the one with not enough storage, right?
Ooh.
So, Jim,
You're cut off, Phil.
When I got that
She
message,
does have a good SD slot.
Oh God, yes.
Oh Lord,
Off the rails. Here we go. It really is a birthday show.
oh yeah. Now the party started.
Yeah, next I'll come back with a what's that energy drink called?
Monster?
There you go.
Monster.
Thank you. I told you I'm a lightweight, man. I've almost finished half of it, and I'm already like,
Ugh.
All right. Jim, what do you think of the Xeno Mini Pro? Do you think internal storage or should have an SD card?
I think it should have an SD card, definitely.
Okay. Well,
We have that 8 gigabytes on that Mavic 2 Pro. I haven't used it, but I know Chris and Art know that I had a problem where mine came up with update all modules. And when I don't know what that meant to DJI, but when I cleared the cache, cleared the internal SD, and actually changed another SD, then the drone started flying again. I don't know what any of that had to do with anything, but there was no video transmission back to the iPad Mini 4. It just said update all modules. And of course, Assistant had nothing to do with it. But I was using, this is what I wanted to ask you. I was using a UHS 2, an ADATA V90 card. You know, and it's got the 2 strips that it can read it, but it's only using 1 strip, so why would that make a difference? 128 gigabyte card it was, by the way.
Hey, Robbie, what's going on, man?
But I've never used the 8 gigabytes internal. I don't know if you guys have.
I have one day when I literally just forgot an SD card. I mean, that happens all the time, and that's where it's nice to have some kind of onboard storage. I think it would have been great if the onboard storage was offered, you know, as an additional to the SD card. That would be great. I don't think anybody would really argue with that.
yeah, John suggested, he was like, well, go get an SD card because I couldn't figure out. I had $15 at Best Buy. It was about to expire. And he goes, so go get an SD card.
Yeah, and I mean, SanDisk Gold. That's the only thing that I buy because I don't want trouble. I just don't want any trouble.
Yeah.
I know that if I'm using these, you're good. You're
But I
pretty
had
much no matter what.
I
you're
never
good.
knew about this. On the inside of the SanDisk, the
Oh,
recovery
yeah.
software.
Free Rescue Pro software.
Yeah, I never knew about it. I was like,
Oh.
what?
Yeah, usually I don't even bother with that.
But you
I've
know
never-
what I did,
I've never
John?
tried it.
I
Yeah.
register the card because I've actually had one fail on me.
Have you
And
ever
they'll give you another
you've
one
done
free.
the warranty thing?
Yeah.
And they
See,
said,
I've never done it because like for me to like mail the card out, what is it? What are they charging for like a pad? I guess it would be like $3. Yeah, I guess so. If you go through all the effort to do it, it's not too bad. They're so cheap. I didn't even think about warranting them, to be honest with you.
You got to take a picture of that and then expand the picture to even see the number that's on the damn SD card. It's crazy.
Yeah, but they have you have to mail the old card in, right? They make you mail it in, right?
I would imagine. I never.
Oh.
I only learned that because they say on the package free lifetime warranty. Doesn't say you must first register that card. See.
oh, yeah, true.
So naturally, they told me to go take a walk.
Oh, I see. So you
So
have
now
to
I register them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I get what you're saying. And you have to do it within a certain period of time after you open it, or what? After you purchase it?
I don't think I saw that, but
Or you just have to do it before it fails?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I registered it last week, I swear. It just failed today.
No, that's neat. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I would worry more about warranties on these things if they cost more. But like, what did that cost, Bill? Like $15 they go for now. The 128s, I think, 15, maybe 20. I guess $20 is still $20.
No, I think from Best Buy it was more than that. I spent more than that on the 128. Because it's an Extreme Plus.
Right?
Yeah. So take 15 off of that, and then they shipped it to the house because I had to pay because it was only like $17, so I had to pay $6 for that, and then you take the 10.5%.
It's
Washington State
$22 now. I seem to remember being able to get it a little cheaper a while back. And again,
Yeah.
we got the chip problem and all that crap.
It
right now,
actually
so-
costs more in taxes and shipping than the card cost, yes. But
Oh.
I don't know, I just didn't feel like driving to Best Buy.
I hear that.
So I've been thinking, this is what's even crazier is like my wife, my kids, everybody has asked what I wanted for my birthday. Couldn't think of anything. And then I don't know if any of y'all watched Steve Sutton, Flyby Guys. He did the thing about the drone art like Ken Dono found at IKEA. Okay, now they're all gone.
Yeah, I was in IKEA a couple months ago and I saw those.
Right.
I almost picked it up, but then I looked at them like, it's kind of expensive because they're not cheap. I mean, it's like a $75 piece of art.
It's $50 now. That's why they all disappeared. And,
Yeah.
and it's kind of cool. It's like a butterfly collection. They're all pinned to the styrofoam.
Yep. I got to see it in person. It's cool. It was cool. It wasn't $75 cool before taxes.
He got me the single one. My son found me the single one, and I'm like, well, if it doesn't look cool enough, like if I can't light it up or something, I can always put it on eBay because they literally disappeared. I mean, you can't find one anywhere, and I'm like, oh man, that sucks. But they are, take that back, you can find them on eBay. $150 each.
Wow, I should have invested in those.
Exactly. That's what I told my son. I was like, I don't give a damn.
Another missed opportunity.
I didn't know it was styrofoam.
Always missed.
Oh, I don't know for sure what. I'm just guessing. Because it said it resembles a butterfly collection.
It does.
So, kind of like how you used to do the butterflies when you would get them all pressed out and everything, and you pin them to the styrofoam and put them under glass or whatever. I mean,
it was cool. It was a cool little thing. I contemplated picking it up, but then I'm like, I could just spend $75 on this art before taxes, or I could buy more FPV batteries or another DJI camera, or you know what I mean. I just said, screw it now. I don't need to hang that up here.
Yeah, cool. So anybody using any? Oh, what will you have, Art? An SJ
This
cam?
is SJ Cam M10.
Looks as small as a session.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that, John?
I've heard of SJ cams before. Yep, they make some decent budget cameras and stuff. Leonard Alsby says, I buy my SD cards from B&H. Shouts to B&H for such an easy return on that Beamy Mini for me. I mean, they took it back, never hassled me.
I love
over
B&H.
and done.
I love B&H credit.
They even let me drag the return on a little longer than because I was supposed to send it back in 10 days, and then I didn't do it. I hedged on it. I emailed them. I'm like, can I get an extension? And they're like, yeah, we're going to extend another 10 days for you. So I mean, they let me keep it for as long as possible through them. But I don't know. I was holding out. I was holding out to maybe see an update come in to fix the problems. And then,
all right. I've talked about it enough. I'm going to go ahead and show everybody because everybody's like, what the frig is he talking about? So I will do this so that everyone might see. See. Come on. I said share, man. What are you doing? Oh, it won't go in. Now it will. See it? Ain't that neat?
Oh.
Yeah. It is. It's cool.
I wanted that so bad. I think it's like $50. See, $50. $50. And it's like 2 foot by 2 foot. But
those are all plastic replicas?
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
And they literally have like a pin stuck through the middle of them.
Yep, they're literally stuck on like that.
It's so cool, man. And I was like,
it looks great. If I had more of like a real.
See this one down here? Okay, see this? Can you see this? Let me see.
Yeah.
See the small one? He got me the one at the bottom. I got the one at the bottom, which is cool.
Oh, that's neat.
So I'll have that one.
That's great. It's a nice little art piece. I was
and I was thinking it would be
at IKEA.
I was thinking it'd be really cool if it was easy to get inside. To put some LEDs in it, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe like no more than like 3 or 4. You know what I mean? But not a whole lot. Just maybe a couple of 3.
I think it's just a glass cover on it, so you probably would be able to open it up.
Well, that's because. Well, what do you think about the idea of putting the LED lights in? What do you all guys think? Let me
that'd be cool.
I think that'd be
83.
Have drill will travel.
I had to catch up. Sorry. You close, buddy. I'm actually 94 today. 94 today.
Wow.
But I don't tell anybody. It's all in the buzz balls.
Oh my goodness.
Looking good for 94, brother.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. But it does. On my mama's side, that those kind of genetics do run in the family. My mother did pass away early for health reasons that were self-induced. Forgive me, I love you, Mama. But mostly, my great grandfather lived to 93. My grandma's already 94,
Wow.
and my grandpa before my grandmother's, my grandmother's. My great grandfather, screw it, but somebody else lived a really long time.
What you're saying is you've got a lot more seasons of drone therapy left in you then.
Half of me does at least.
Yeah, yeah.
It depends on which genetics went out in the end, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
the hobby will die. The hobby will die before you do, basically.
No, the CBO will take us all down.
Oh, man.
Here we go again.
John, I actually wrote a comment to that, and I have no right to. I'm not an FPV flyer, but it was just too upsetting. I had to.
Appreciate you writing in.
Yeah,
Hey.
good on you, Jim.
A lot of redundancy in there.
Okay,
The flyer can't fly unless he's proficient in flying, and then you gotta have a VO that has to be standing right next. It's ridiculous.
Just a mess. Just a mess. Yeah. It's nice. There's a lot of. I'll say there's a number of camera bird guys who they don't do the FPV thing, and they might not even be willing to write something in for us because they actually think that we're more renegades, we're more troublemakers. So that's look at Art. Hey. So that's nice. I mean, we've had shows before. Bill knows camera bird versus FPV. But really, we're all drone flyers. We all do the same thing.
I could just imagine me trying to do FPV. I'd be crashing it 90 times. That's how you learn, right?
Will.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We'll crash it.
Yep. A lot of people just crash in the simulator, so they don't spend all that money, crashing for real. That's what they do these days.
Well, I did it by crashing in my apartment.
That works too with the Tiny Hawk. I mean, that thing is practically indestructible.
Oh yeah, it is. The only thing is the props come off and you gotta hunt around all over. Where the hell is that prop?
Yep.
Oh, it's over there behind the damn couch.
Yep, the props, they love to pop off.
Yep. But when I got to take it outside, it's it is a whole different world. It's like, wow, look at this. I'm
Absolutely.
doing rolls and flips and oh.
Yeah, you've been having a lot of fun with FPV Art. I've seen your
Yeah.
channel. You've been doing really good.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now here's what makes no sense to me. Right? I love roller coasters.
Mhm.
Right? Love getting on them still. But for some strange reason, FPV gives me problems. I don't know if it's the I'll get dizzy sometimes. I don't understand why, if I don't mind being inverted and stuff, on a roller coaster and stuff, why it would bother me otherwise?
John, did you
Well, I
think
think there's two aspects.
Well, actually,
Between FPV
three,
and actually riding
because
a
he
roller
is
coaster.
from Virginia.
I think there's two differences between being on a roller coaster and flying FPV. Number one, when you're on the roller coaster, your body is moving with the coaster. You're feeling that movement. It's weird when you have goggles on and there's movement, but your body's not moving with it. And when I first started, I had to sit down no matter what, because when I felt like I was falling with the drone, my body would almost feel like I'm falling, but I'm not, or I would reach out to try to catch my fall. It's a weird feeling for your body not to be moving, but you're seeing a visual of movement. So you have that going on, number one, which really confuses the crap out of your brain. And then the second thing that you have is, everybody's eyes are different when it comes to screens, the screen versus the real world. So that's a whole other thing too.
Yeah, you might need box goggles. That might work for it. rather
Yeah, well,
than
the immersion
the fat
level,
sharks that are like right up there.
Yeah, the
I've never-
immersion
I've only-
level actually changes things too. Like box goggles, big, bulky box goggles, the ones that had terrible resolution, those made me feel pretty sick. But then when I got fat sharks, that was pretty good, right? That's more like being in the back of a movie theater. When your face is like right up like that against all this crazy movement, of course you might get sick. So your equipment too makes a big difference.
That's why Carlos has those FX ones where it's open on the sides there.
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I've
that's
got.
cool.
Did you say?
Yeah, the
okay,
Viper
so
F.
I'm
XT.
wondering if he's making
That's
a
it.
reference to camera drones being boring because he switched over to FPV, or why he's saying the Mini is boring, but it still takes. I mean, it's still the transfer rate's decent on the Mini. It still takes good video and stuff. I mean, I know it's what 2.5, but that's still decent. What are you flying now, Steve?
Still the Mini 2. Yeah,
Have you-
like
have you-
I'm one drone at a time kind of guy.
What other cinematography stuff are you using or doing right now?
Well, I've been pretty quiet for the last few weeks. We've had a lot of wildfire smoke up here, and
wow.
so it's like this is nothing. I shot a video last year. I did a kind of a smoke video, and it was kind of interesting. But yeah, it's been not great flying conditions. So, and then we got trapped in a heat dome there for a while. We were getting over 44 degrees Celsius.
Holy
I don't know,
cow,
I don't know what
man.
that translates into Fahrenheit, 100 and
Whoa.
something.
That'd be about 100.
And like,
Oh,
I don't think your drone's gonna like that either.
Nope.
But you know, that with the smoke, like, ugh. So it's not been a great summer for flying so far. It's been fits and starts kind of thing.
The
You
thing
got to
is,
remember
that's
the
really
battery
disappointing.
heat. The battery
Yeah.
heat too.
Yeah, I think 40 Celsius. That's the limit for the Mini 2, right? I
Yep.
don't think it'd be very happy flying in that.
I have a magic cup tonight.
Bottomless, say Bill.
No, no. Unfortunately, the magic only has one refill.
Oh,
Not unless I switch to another flavor, and then who knows what'll happen
Steve,
then.
have you reconsidered on the? I say reconsider because I'm thinking that when we talked about the DJI FPV drone, I seem to remember you didn't have any interest in it. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I'd love to try it, but I know what's going to happen if I'm flying that thing. I'm going to be crashing that thing all the time, and that's going to be an expensive lesson to learn. I'd be smarter to get one of the smaller little FPVs and kind of learn the ropes before I start
Jesus,
going to
man.
something a bit more ambitious. But yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like a crazy, interesting.
Well, there you go.
Aircraft, right?
That's understandable. Look at that. Almost 112 degrees Fahrenheit.
Way too hot to even be outside, let alone.
Oh, it
flying
is. Yeah,
around.
you can't even be out there. It's ridiculous, right? You
That's
just
so sad.
Well,
you can't
see, the
even
thing-
move.
like this year, I don't know if it has to do with the jet stream or whatever. We still got a lot of wildfires going on, but we're not
Yeah.
like saturated here with smoke like we have been the past 4 previous years.
oh,
I don't know
We're
what-
getting it bad here in Denver. You
But-
can't even see the mountains.
yeah.
But,
Sad,
but the thing
smoky.
that was crazy is they told us like last month when we had that heat snap that, oh, we're just gonna have the one, not gonna have any more this summer, don't worry about it. And we just started a new one today, and it peaked at 90 today. And Friday's supposed to be the hot day, like 105 for us. Western Washington's going to be like Steve, 112 to 115,
Wow.
Wow.
and
That's
then that's
crazy.
going to spread across the top of the country.
Yeah.
You know, on the point of the DJI FPV drone, Steve, you know, I definitely, obviously, I prefer the traditional route, but the people who just get it and they don't try to put it into manual mode and do the hardcore
be right back.
flips and all that crazy stuff, they're fine. Those are the ones who are not crying in the groups that they crashed their quad. And, you know, based on like the kind of video that you do, which is more of like the cruise style cinematic stuff, you'd probably be fine. I think you just wouldn't be impressed with the camera on that drone. I mean, that's the only thing. I don't think you'd be impressed with it.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of video from it. Yeah, and it didn't like I wasn't too thrilled about it, right? So maybe wait for the second generation of that guy, before I give it a try.
I'm just doing something.
Yeah,
Check out Sean Oz's channel. He's
Yeah.
got a DJI FPV drone, and the videos that he's been getting with that have been fantastic.
Am I the only one that thinks that thing is way overpriced? I mean, look at you guys who are flying the Tiny Hawks and all that. You're getting into it for way less than $1,500.
I'm a winner.
Oh yeah,
winner.
Bill won the random giveaway on my channel. Then that's Machine 009.
There was 3 of them. Yeah. Who was it that sent me this, John?
Bang good.
And they must have listened. I think they actually watched the show because they know I wanted blue.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Because normally, as you can see,
man,
it's
it
orange,
matches.
yeah.
That's
So-
awesome, man. It's a
And I
cute
was
little
like-
flyer.
Yeah, and it's like it's quiet and it flies really good. Of course, it's like all these little drones like this. They fly fantastic until you start smashing them into things, and then they don't.
Jim
fly so
and I
well.
were on something, and I totally forgot what.
Oh, the price of the DJI being like $1,400. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. You know, a while back, I actually went and I compared what was the full cost of a 5-inch like bind and fly drone traditional, a remote, batteries, a charger, all the little stuff that you don't think about. You might just look at the price of the drone and of goggles to all that crap. A comparable setup, and it ended up working out to be about $1,500 for, especially if you're also considering like an HD camera like the GoPro. It was the same price and dollar amount, but you get a way better value from the traditional path because all of that hardware that you're buying there is not locked in to a
usable.
single device experience. That's the difference. But if we just look at dollar amounts, it's the same. It's the same entry level dollar amount if we compare it for similar experiences, HD to HD.
HD is a key.
Steve, did you have something you wanted to say?
Nope.
For me, I thought when you were doing this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought he was going to speak
that's
up
fine.
too or say something.
No, he's a pen guy.
He's got the pen.
So, Bill,
Yeah.
tell us what you got in the mail for me.
I got some fantastic toffee from Art, and what is it, Enstrom?
Yes, it is.
And it's, I mean, honestly, and I was telling Art the story before we went live. He said, "How long did it last?" And I said, "Actually, it lasted almost an entire day." And then I proceeded to explain to him that once we opened it up and started eating it, it almost lasts approximately 6 minutes. But my wife said, no, let's just hang on and we'll finish it later. And I said, okay, I got to have one more. At which point I ate a second one for myself. My wife had only had one. Okay, so I put the box away. I come back. I've been good the entire day. I'm thinking, hot damn, I still got some toffee left. I'm going to go eat me a piece now before my wife finds out. So I go in and I pick up the box. I open the box. I pull it open and I look inside. And instead of 3 pieces of delicious, crunchy, dark chocolate covered toffee remaining, there's only 2. At which point I go, dear, did you have another piece of candy? She looks at me with chocolate smeared all over her mouth and goes, no. So anyway, I ate another piece of candy and gave my wife the last one because I'd already had 3. So. But yeah, it was really, 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 really good. And then he was asking me, and this is something I can ask everybody that's here, everybody in the chat. Sorry, I'm not paying. Wait a minute, let me do this. Okay, Johnny D's saying you can start with 300, but what we were talking about was comparable to the DJI FPV drone. Okay, I'm on a tangent here. I'm going to ask
comparable
Steve.
experiences, right? Like Johnny's totally right there. You can start with $300, but
You can
you're not
start
going to be
cheaper
flying-
than that.
$210 literally I think will get you in the air with the Tiny Hawk, right? But if we're just trying to compare a fully loaded setup to the DJI setup, because you can't compare the cheapest kit to a premium kit like the DJI one. It's just to me, it's not a fair comparison. So when I did that, I loaded up. I got the DJI goggles. I got the iFlight Nazgul 5-inch with the Vista and all that stuff. I bought a fully loaded premium drone plus the goggles and remote alone will sink you close to $600-700 right there.
Those goggles are
talking
expensive.
about top end.
Okay, Steve, would you fly the DJI FPV drone if you could, and could you find a use for it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, why not, right? I mean, like John said, I think it'd be kind of fun. Like, I do like getting down low and close to things, so I think there could be some really interesting captures to be made there. But yeah, I mean, it comes down to dollars too, right? Like practicality of it. I tend to stick with my equipment. I buy one camera, I buy one drone. I stick with it for quite a while before I tend to upgrade. So, but yeah, if DJI wanted to send me one, I'd fly it all the time.
Oh yeah,
You're $1,000 right there, Johnny. Exactly. But you're forgetting the HD camera aspect, which is the GoPro. So now you have to add the cost of a GoPro Hero 8 or something like that. Hero 7, which that stuff is bare minimum going to run you like $200 plus the charger. Don't forget the charger. There goes another $50 to $100, and battery. Don't forget your battery too. There goes another 20, 30. So all this stuff, it all ends up adding up to about the same price as the DJI setup. Oh, radio. We forgot the radio.
Yeah, we
Damn.
didn't even talk about the transmitter.
We didn't even mention the radio. Which is, again, it's going to probably be another, $50 if you go cheap.
Everybody upgrades that, right? Like Chris, you upgraded that as soon as you got? Yeah. Chris got hooked quick. I know that.
Yep. Oh, Jesus, this is killing me. I'm trying to party for my birthday, have a good time, and I'm trying to sell this old riding lawnmower that I got. People messaging me saying, "Can you send me my phone number for it? Come over tomorrow, man." And I'm like, "I'd really be helpful." I'm like, "Dude, I'm drinking and I'm having a party and I'm doing a live stream."
DJI drone doesn't carry a GoPro, correct, but it has a built-in HD camera on board with footage that you can use. You can actually use that footage. I wouldn't consider the footage that comes out of the Cadex Vista or the air units to really be usable for any kind of cinematography. It's just no good. It's not stabilized. The quality is nowhere near what you get coming out of the DJI FPV drone camera, right? So an HD camera is going to be another additional expense that you don't have on the DJI FPV drone. Now, I will say this: I think the DJI FPV drone camera, even HD, doesn't hold a candle to a GoPro Hero 8 or 9. Okay, you're getting a way better stabilization, way better camera in general from GoPro than DJI, but. Live stream to a non-YouTuber.
Well, I guess he's really going to wonder about the lawnmower now.
Watch, no they or not. I have no idea what that's about.
But you know what I was cackling about earlier, what was so funny was when I went off on that extremely two-thirds drunk tangent just a moment ago, John paused and then went right back into his train of thought and kept on going, and I was like, damn it, I've lost my touch.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm predictable now, man.
I'm used to it. Used to throw me off way more, but...
And then now he even called me out. Oh, there we go. They're train distract now. There goes the monetization for this episode. So, he usually calls me out on it. Yeah. I know I haven't been drinking like this in a while. It'll only be this week, I promise. Maybe Christmas. Maybe Thanksgiving.
I don't hear
So
much
what kind
about
of
that.
birthday
DJI.
cakes do ghosts like to eat?
Oh boy.
I don't know what.
Ice cream cake.
Okay. I bet that one kills, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Slow clap. Slow
Now you know
clap.
Well, I'm trying to keep it family oriented here.
Now you know why what, Chris?
Now you know why I weren't flies alone.
There you go.
There you go. That was a good one.
Why couldn't the pony sing happy birthday? She was feeling a little hoarse.
Okay, that one was pretty good. That one was pretty good.
Oh,
man.
wait a minute. Nothing comes close. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to deny that. Fat Shark's still not in the ballpark. We get all that stuff. Nobody's denying any of that stuff. I
Well, Mike-
personally think that DJI screwed up by making the drone they did. I think they screwed up by not producing a Cinewhoop because they're so good with cameras and stuff.
I think a lot of people would have liked that. Yeah.
And from what I'm hearing, they're already working on the second version of the FPV drone.
I wouldn't doubt that at all.
But it's basically the same damn thing they made the first time.
Interesting.
So I'm just like, and I was like, no, that's a mistake. I don't know why they're doing that. And because they sold so many the first time, they're going to stick with this. And I guess they're going to drive FPV that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you can't take nice video out of the DJI FPV drone, but, you know, I don't know. I just like the GoPro footage better. A lot of people in FPV will tell you, yeah, the GoPro Hero 8 and 9, they produce way better footage, and you can use them with real steady go. That's the thing a lot of cinematographers do. They take that footage from the GoPros, they run it through real steady go, and that's how you get that really buttery, smooth, like movie grade quality video. And that option just isn't there with the DJI FPV drone. It's just not there. So.
But you know they think about that ahead of time, just like having a mini Air 2S, a mini SE. You just know they got another good one coming down the line. Now that we got you hooked on this, let's get you into that.
Yep.
Well,
I
it
just
won't be
wonder how many that got
cinema
people
quality.
hooked, though. I just wonder how many people ended up hooked, though, or rather just frustrated with the damn thing because they bought it and they thought they were going to be Mr. Steele, and it already had to go back to DJI a few times. You know, there were a number of things that I was kind of shocked that they missed, like the props being in the view in the video coming in way more than the average DJI drone. That was kind of shocking to me. I mean, yeah, you can crop it out, but
Who wants to do that? Yeah.
no, well, yeah, exactly. Like stupid little stuff like that kind of just surprised me.
How is the quality of that? I don't hear much about it.
People that fly camera drones that fly it say it sucks.
Yeah, they don't like it. It didn't appeal to the camera bird guys. It didn't. The camera didn't appeal to the camera bird guys. Really, it didn't appeal to the FPV guys. I don't know who they tried to appeal it to, except for people who wanted a ready to fly FPV with, you know, all the top, premium stuff on it.
It
Basically.
gets you the goggles.
It gets you the foot in the door. Yeah, it gets your
It
foot
gets you
in
the
the door.
goggles, and it's a GPS FPV drone.
Yeah, with the
If you
return
get-
to home.
If you get in a bind, hit the switch,
Yeah.
and you're there. You're safe. You're not falling. It's not running away. It's there. It's coming home, like you just said.
That's very true, Chris. That was a huge selling point for
That's
it. Yeah.
a big selling point because, like you and me, how many times you killed it in the air to keep from losing it? Just let it
Yeah.
fall. You know, that gives somebody an out. It's
Yeah.
an appealing aspect of the whole thing for me.
Yeah, definitely.
it
And you
gets you
can
the-
also fly a much longer range with that DJI FPV drone. You know, I just started flying like long range rigs. I bought the Flywheel Explorer this year. That's one of my best FPV purchases of the year, honestly, because it was something different, right? It was something. You could just fly out quite a bit with that. And if I need to come home, I just press a button and it returns back to me. You know, I haven't really had that experience in FPV up until this year, and it's cool. It's a different way of flying where if something happens, you're not thinking too hard about losing the signal. You just come back home. So I give them credit for that. Ron Brown!
Hey, Mr. Ron.
Hello. I'm here. I'm sorry I'm late for the birthday party tonight. What kind of cake are we serving?
It's already gone, dude. You're like an hour late. What are you talking about?
You didn't say
Ice
anything.
cream.
No, we have a variety of cake. We have Italian cream cake. We have a piece of carrot cake, and we have I can't remember what the other one is. And Ron, how long's it been?
Oh.
I've already had two, and needless to say, what was it? Akira shows. See, Akira shows.
Johnny Crossfire, yes. Flies over to saying Crossfire, yes, absolutely.
Akira show said squirrel, and I've not been right since.
Oh, okay.
And try a wing. That's something I might try.
I think
I want to try a
cool.
wing too. I want to do that as well.
He talked to Kai, Lone Star UAV. He's a big wing.
You want garlic
Might have-
on it, or do you just prefer hot and spicy? How you doing, Ron? I guess-
Doing well. Hanging out with the nieces. Thing. We were down at the beach. We were down at the greenhouse for a while, and just got back and got cleaned up a while ago. They have a band down there on Wednesday nights on the beach, and
All things more important than Bill's birthday.
yeah. Well,
I didn't say a damn thing.
we
I'm
got
just
the,
messing with you, Ron.
we got the relative. The nieces don't get down here much, John.
Oh, he told me earlier today that
I'm
he
just
was
messing
gonna
with
be a
you,
little
Ron.
late. Don't
You
you
know me.
remember? I told him I was going to start singing the song "There's a Tear in My Beer." Anyway,
So Ron, you get your mini SE pretty soon, I guess. I think he's.
Well, I held firm to the Hudson Zito Pro. I resisted
God.
the
you
little
resisted
DJI SE. I got some strength. This time, John. I resisted the temptation.
Honestly, I feel like it wouldn't be that much of a different experience for you, right? I mean, you already have some of the best camera drones there are, and like you had the Mini 1 already. Like, it's not going to be anything new for you.
Yeah, again, the drone's an important drone for people who have the under $300 type of drones that don't really perform the way they want to. So it's a very important drone for that segment of the market. But anybody that has some one-inch sensor drones and things like that, it's just basically using spare parts to throw something together here.
Right. Like, I know our friend Marcus, he bought one, but that's largely for his YouTube channel, so he can have it on hand to compare it against some of these, other horrendous, crappy drones that are being put out right now.
And of course, that's not even any. It's still, it's nice to compare, but I'll tell you, I'm going to give the spoiler alert, John. The Mini SE is going to beat them all.
There. Right there. I'm sorry. Right there. I totally agree.
If you already have the Mini 2, then there's no point in buying that unless you want to have it on hand to say for your channel.
Views. You're a view whore.
Yeah, but
you gotta get the views, Bill. You gotta get
Remember, Bill,
views.
some people's best drone is a Potensic.
That's true.
This is going to be their savior.
Oh, exactly.
Think about all those Mini SE versus Potensic videos that can be made
I'm
now.
talking about like what from Johnny's standpoint. Somebody like us to ask somebody like me who's got the Mavic Pro 2, who's got the Skydio 2, are you going to buy the SE? And then why?
Yep.
Yeah, well, again, it's old technology. It's rehashing year-old, and 2-year-old technology, putting the Mini 2 from last year and the Mini 1 from the year before, scrunching them together.
Yeah.
And,
Ron missed my
Hell, even
comparison.
for me, honestly, like I don't have a mini drone. The only one I have is the Mavic Air 2. The Mavic Air 2 and the Xeno, Bill. Those are my only like real camera birds. That's it. That's the only one
But
I
does
have.
the Air 2 compare? I mean, is the SE going to compare to the Air 2?
No, not even close. And if I wanted a mini drone today, I'm fully in this hobby. I'm never getting out until they, pry the drones from my hands. It would make no sense for me to get the Mini SE. I might as well just get the Mini 2. Have the better camera, the better everything, OcuSync, all that stuff. Like, I'm just better off getting the Mini 2. I want to wait for the Mini 3. That's what I'm doing. Or an Autel Mini. If that's going to come out.
Yep.
I would consider that. That way I'll have one DJI drone and one non-DJI drone. And I'll have something under 250 grams. That's what I was thinking of doing. Depending on what happens with either of them, I'll either get another DJI or maybe go Autel or something.
They want to
That's what I
lock
tried
up
to do with the
every
Femi.
price point.
We lost Ron.
No, that's what I tried to do with the Femi. I tried to have an under 250 gram drone that wasn't
Ron
DJI.
fell off the boat. Throw him a life preserver, quick!
But yeah, like the Mini's
Okay.
a great recommend to
There-
someone who's
there
never
you
used
go.
a drone before. For
we
us,
threw
we're
your
all
life
drone
preserver, Ron.
veterans.
We threw you a life preserver. I told everybody that you fell off the boat, and we had to throw you a life preserver, and we got you back on board. Okay, Ron.
I feel like a monkey. John was talking, and all of a sudden, the volume went away. And I thought it was John, but then you started talking, Bill, and I had no volume either. So
I just now saw your private message.
Yeah.
Ron, real quick, what's your take on the Hubsan with the internal storage? I'm sure people have seen it on Drone Nation, but
Yeah, I have no problem with it, and why I say that is because when the Air 2S came out, what was the first thing most reviewers knocked it for? It only had 8 gigabytes of internal storage. So every drone review in the world kept knocking the Air 2S for having a small amount of internal storage. So maybe Hubsan was listening and put 64 and 128 in it, more than enough to get, a good 2 hours of 4K content.
yeah, I don't think it's
That's all
not
the-
make or break for us either, honestly.
That's all the Mavic Pro has. Is that?
Hey,
Do they not have an SD card in there with it?
yes, they do.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I can't. To Jim's point there, I mean, what did they save pennies by not putting the memory card slot in it? I mean, it was great they put all that internal memory in, but why did they save 2 cents and not put a memory card slot in these drones? I know that. Oh, here's my only theory. I know they had to make this thing as light as they possibly could to put all the technology in and make it 250 grams, but I can't imagine not making the memory card slot functional saved them any weight, but maybe it did. I'm not an engineer.
Really,
Saves a
I
little bit of
agree.
weight, but
I
not
agree.
significant enough that
I know I've taken the Air 2S before and just hooked up the computer and moved the files over, and it works well. The Air 2S just shows up as an external hard drive on my desktop. I moved the files over. Well, I did it one time just to prove a point. I never did it again. After that, I moved my memory card slot over. So it won't be a new adjustment. Hooking the drone up to the computer
Right.
every time you want to get the memory over, or the videos over to your computer. So ask me this question again in a couple months when I've had time to see if there's any pros to it, or are there any cons to it, or whatever.
yeah, absolutely. What do you? So I mean, are you worried about how it's going to be when it comes in? I mean, given Hubsan's history and everything, it's a mixed bag. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, any of these companies, no two are made exactly the same. John, you and
Yep.
I know that from our toy drone days and whatever. All these companies, one's good, the other one's not so good, one's kind of in between or whatever. So you hope
Yeah.
you get a good one or whatever, because the quality control is not what we see from DJI and other tech companies across.
Oh, you're
the
talking
line.
about Femi.
I didn't want to.
I
didn't want to bring it up, Bill,
I didn't
because
want to throw the little guy under the bus, but let's go ahead and throw this guy under the bus.
yeah, I didn't want to bring it up because Ron couldn't return his because he didn't get it from B&H. He got it from AliExpress.
Yeah, I still
Yeah.
have mine.
Oh,
He's still-
wait a minute.
Someday I hope this thing is like the phoenix, that it rises from the grave and does everything it's
Patrick's in the
supposed
chat.
to do.
Hey,
But
what's going on there?
Femi, don't get me wrong. Femi, Xiaomi, whatever, they need to go back to the drawing board with their drones. There's been an issue, kind of like the only one that I've ever seen a Femi that works constantly for is Alex over in Greece. He's the only one that I've ever seen get a Femi that worked for him the entire time properly.
Yep.
Now he makes money off of his Femi. He makes a living. He's like a 107 pilot in Greece, shoots weddings, videos for bands.
Just
with his
just goes to
Femi.
show what you could do with someone.
But Bill, he must have got the
Someone-
enterprise model of the Femi.
Yeah.
He got the one that QC just screwed up and let out the door. The one that worked.
You know, I think a lot of people are just done with the Femies, the Hubsons. You know, if you're buying that right now, you're a pioneer. I mean, the true pioneers are buying that stuff now. With
Well, I haven't
Walker,
heard Dave Walker in a while, John.
Yeah, they were on a good track there.
they kind of disappeared.
Yeah, like Unique. What
Yeah.
happened?
They
Yeah,
got
yeah,
they were to do the sunlight and were melted.
Yeah, Walker used to have all sorts of stuff. Walker used to even have a transmitter that was pretty popular.
And they had remember they made gimbals, the M3X's gimbals.
you
Yeah,
talking
they
about
kind of
the-
just went out of business.
Is he
They
talking
had
about
that
his
free
Hubson?
battery model that I like.
Is he talking about his Hubson? Has your Xeno Mini Pro shipped, Ron?
No, I checked this morning; it was still pending. But supposedly,
Still not
Bill the
shipped.
Drone Reviewers is shipping.
Who's?
Bill the Drone Reviewers is supposedly shipping.
We should have guessed. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry, I had to go there.
Oh,
Just,
Lord.
I'm sorry, but you know, it's like you're not good enough, Ron T. Brown. Yours hasn't shipped yet. I don't know.
But they did send me an email Monday saying I will get a tracking number the next 5 days, guaranteed.
When did they send this?
Monday.
Oh, so you got to kind of like, are you just going to be anticipating?
And you're also going to get that gift bag, right? And the Hubson cam, right?
Well, they told Marcus the reason his is delayed is because they had the stuff, the free gifts in the box.
Oh,
I told you there was only 2 refills.
right.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
I haven't been on the Walkara site in a long time. I'm on there now, and there's about 10 drones I've never seen before.
Oh, really?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't
Well,
been
let
on
me-
this site in a long time either. The Vetus, I think, was the last thing I saw from them.
I don't know.
I think Brian
I have to
Singleton
check it
got the Vetus eventually.
Wow,
John.
look at that. The R1000 RTK.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
John, look at this comment.
If FEMA could solve their minis' current problems, they might have yeah, they might, dude. They might. I almost feel like at this point, though, it's too late. I almost feel like it's too late. They've really screwed up.
Yeah, they had an opportunity to make their mark, John.
They did.
They went up the bat and they struck out, you know, in their one chance.
Yep, they really did, and it's probably going to be about another year for them to try again, because now they have to contend with the Mini SE at the $299 price point. What the hell are you going to buy a Femi Mini for when you can get the DJI Mini SE for $299
For less than their flawed product.
Yeah, exactly. It's much too difficult.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're the person, you have to have 4K video. You can't. You just can't make do with 2.7. You have to film in 4K.
There's no point in having there's no point in having 4K video that's crooked. So I mean,
Yeah. Well, maybe you just walk around with the drone and just do this.
that's
there
true.
you go.
That's true.
Well, maybe that drone is in DGAF mode.
Oh wait, Jim.
Luckily for
Jim
Femi, they're out of chips, huh? That's interesting.
There we go.
Oh, what is that?
This is just the Walkara site. When you
It's a
start
police
up,
drone, Bill. It's a police drone.
So it
look
looks
at
like
all
they've
this.
gone very commercial.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this. They
The
have
first one, though,
agricultural
that
drone,
first drone looked consumer.
firefighting. Look at that! Wow, Jim, what a good find. This is interesting. So this is why we haven't seen anything from Walkera, is because they seem to be done with the consumer sector.
What
Look at
was
all
that
this
first drone, though?
Right
that
there,
drone
this
there
one.
could
But
be.
Bill calls himself
police
a police
I know
drone.
it says police drone, but it looks almost like the the one
Oh, Phantom?
cinematic drone that everybody's been waiting on the second version.
Oh yeah. I can't think of that name either, Bill. Evolve.
Yeah, Evolve.
Oh, the Evolve 2.
Oh, yeah.
Evolve 2.
X
Oh, we call
Dynamics.
it Evolve, yeah.
Ah, the
X
Evolve,
Dynamics
that's right.
came out
X Dynamics,
with
yeah.
They came out with the 12mm camera, but not the 15. Not the 20, I'm sorry.
Man,
So
that looks
lighter,
sharp.
smarter. 3-axis stabilized. I wonder how much this does it come with an infrared thermal camera on it? Oh, mounting.
Okay.
What is that? Is that like
Police
just
drone.
an OA on the front? 6K?
This is Walkera. I've never heard anything.
Wow.
Well, like John said, they've gone completely commercial,
Yep. So they're not in our spotlight, I guess, anymore.
and even first responder more so than anything.
Ooh.
What would we look? Oh, that Voyager 5 is the last time I saw this company. It's
I remember
got
that too.
3
Right.
batteries on it. Man, it takes a while to load.
Maybe a lot of people are hitting this web page.
Yeah, KB United. Yeah, I agree. Most drone reviewers are going to pick up the Mini SE just to have it on hand to be able to compare it to other drones and do a video on it.
Views.
What's the small
Views,
one?
that's right, Bill. Clickbait!
Not clickbait, because it's true. Clickbait's when you make shit up, like, I have the photos of the Maverick 3. Tune in here.
That's true.
You know? And then you got something that somebody put up on their computer,
Race
or
drone?
you're speculating out of your ass and not admitting to it.
I've
John,
seen
they
the
have
race
TV
drones.
drones?
The rodeo, the 110 there, that's old. Some of those are
Okay.
pretty old.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
not-
the rodeos real old school, John.
Yeah, they probably still have those up.
Oh, the Furious.
Is this old, John? The Furious 250?
Yeah, I've not seen it, but the design itself already looks kind of old.
Vin Diesel flew it in the first movie.
Like that looks like a QAV kind of boxy style frame. Individual ESCs. You don't see that as often anymore. I still run
Yeah.
individual ESCs, but you don't see individual as much as you used to.
Well,
No, see, that's
well, again,
odd.
this picture's probably been up here for 2-3 years, John.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure it's old. I've not seen it before, but I'm pretty sure it's probably old.
So none of this is new, right?
I don't think so. No. Walkera produced some pretty bad FPV drones. Pretty bad stuff, unfortunately. It just wasn't their forte.
Well, everybody started out like that with just the camera in front, glued in there.
Yeah.
Bebop.
See what it says more.
There's that rodeo again. That was real popular.
Yeah, the rodeo was
about
so
3 years
weird.
ago.
And it was like a hybrid of plastic, too. Like, you just don't do that. We see what happens when you make an FPV drone with plastic. It doesn't end. It doesn't end very well. DJI could have learned something from Walkera. Yeah, Johnny is saying that drone is 5+ years old. Wow.
Wow.
The box one.
Okay.
And then the last I saw, Unique still only had that H520. That was
Yeah.
their. Remember that orange commercial one?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was about as far as they went.
I mean, Unique kind of threw everything they had into the hexacopter and just didn't. Well, I no pun intended, just didn't take off or whatever. And
Yeah, and also her Unique was partnered with a company called Horizon Hobbies, which is pretty dominant if you live in an area that still has a hobby shop. You walk into most of those places, they're selling stuff from Horizon Hobby. And Horizon Hobby is still a pretty damn big United States vendor. For a while...
They caught
like-
that lawsuit for that transmitter. What was that, John? It was too powerful?
Yeah, that was Hobby King. That was Hobby
okay.
King.
Okay,
Horizon Hobby has pretty much stayed all legal and stuff, but they had the 350QX drone that was to compete against the Phantom, and then they had the Blade Chroma. But both of those drones were made by Unique for Horizon and meant to try to compete with like the Phantom 3, Phantom 4. I had them. I had both of them because I didn't want to buy a Phantom at the time. I was a big supporter of the underdog, and then I finally just gave in to DJI when they released the Mavic.
They're gone, man. They're
Yeah, the
they only
Mavic.
do Unique.
Yeah, I finally gave in because the stuff that Horizon did just wasn't able to catch up to what DJI was doing, and by extension, the stuff Unique was producing for them just wasn't anything close to what you could get by getting a Mavic or any of that stuff.
And then they went completely commercial.
Yeah, Johnny's right. The video transmitter was over 1 watt, and Hobby King got slapped with a massive fine.
That's what it was.
Yeah, the Unique, the first hexacopter model came out about the same time the Phantom 4 did, and it just couldn't compete with the Phantom 4 when it came out.
Well, I really wanted a hexacopter.
They didn't take advantage of being able to interchange those camera platforms.
Nope, they didn't.
Yeah.
And that's where they screwed themselves, because people have been begging for it on DJI drones forever. They had the platform built right there, and they didn't take advantage of it. It was just stupid.
Yeah, it's crazy, because like the Chroma platform in 350, that platform, that was so versatile, because it had a GoPro gimbal option. You could put your GoPro Hero 4 in a 3-axis gimbal, take that, put that on the drone. They also made a camera called the Seago. The Seago 2, Seago. Yeah, Jim knows. You could literally take those, slide them on and off. They were gonna continue to produce like mounts for that stuff. None of that ever really came to fruition. None of it ever,
I remember my Best Buy had, I think, the Breeze and the Mantis in it at one point.
Can you still buy the Breeze?
Here and there you can when it pops up.
The Breeze sat in the shelf at Best Buy for years. I mean, I bet you the Breeze was kind of like not really being so much anymore, but it's that display still sat at Best Buy for a long time collecting dust.
You can't click on it. Nothing's happening when I click on it.
Yeah. Well, there's another lost opportunity for Unique. They had the Breeze about a year before the Spark came out, right? But they messed up with the Breeze. They sold with no remote controller, sold with or available for it. You could only fly it with your phone, and it had a range of 300 feet or something like that.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It had good image
stuff was always
stabilization.
Ridiculous with the range, dude.
But they had good image stabilization in it. It was a
does
good
anybody
bit.
remember Lightbridge? Lightbridge used to be the thing before OcuSync, and Unique stuff was all Wi-Fi. It was always a Wi-Fi based FPV connection, and the Phantoms here they come. They got the Lightbridge. That was always the big comparison.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then OcuSync came out, and they just got blown away. There was just no way they could compete with the Mavic Pro.
That's why the hexacopter from Unique failed against the Phantom 4s, because the range wasn't even close to the Phantom 4.
Yep, and that's with Lightbridge. You're right. And then, like I said, along comes the Mavic Pro 1.
It's almost like a parrot controller.
And not to mention, who the hell wants a hexacopter, right? Like, does the average person want to carry a big friggin' hexacopter around everywhere? It
did come out in the days when there was no folding drone yet. There was no Mavic 1 when the hexacopter came out.
Right, that's true. But the trend was to try to make them smaller. That's where things were heading.
But didn't the hexacopter one have the feature, if you lost an engine, in flight, you could still get the drone back. It wouldn't. You could still bring the drone home even if it was out a ways.
Yep.
That was the only reason to look at it for me. If one of those motors died, you could still bring it back.
But the problem was how many DJI drones lost a motor?
Yeah. An ESC and motor failure is extremely rare.
Yeah, in the air, yes.
It was like, and like I said, where they dropped the ball was where they had the platform built to put interchangeable cameras, interchangeable lenses, whatever. It was balanced already. They could have put whatever the hell they wanted to underneath that drone, and they did.
Yeah,
just got back to ESCs dying. Even on toy drones like the Siemens, when the ESC would die, it hardly ever died in flight. When you landed it and whatever, and then you would go take off again, it would die then. I've almost never seen.
Or you blow out a battery
ESC
first.
Die in midair. It would die when you landed, and then you couldn't get it going again.
Yeah, like the brushed motors.
Yep.
Typically, you crash, get stuck, they jam up. Yeah, most of
Yeah.
the times you weren't failing out.
And Ron something I want to bring up. Ron got, what was it? The little drone that you got on the referral of
Brian Duvall, the Hebe.
Oh yeah,
Both Brian Duvall and Brian Singleton both love this little drone. They were right. It actually flies better than this thing. It does.
That's sad,
it does.
man.
I could take it in the back porch and it performs better. And it's
That's
like
sad.
$29, you know.
and the video's better too.
You don't have any Cuppi horizon with this.
That's true.
No, it has lights all the way around, and the lights are different colors, so it's easy for orientation when you're flying line of sight.
Now Ron was talking about how the blue one was more expensive.
The blue one's a premium model.
So I went looking, and I found the coupon for the blue one, and I sent Ron the coupon link, and he goes, "I only need one." I was like, "Okay, sorry, man." I was like, "But in the immortal words of Kovacian dronography, Chuck, redundancy."
Well,
because he's got like 2 Mavics, and I think he may even have 2 Minis, too many 2s. I don't know for sure. Hey,
if it's not redundant, then it's not Chuck approved, right?
Yes, there you go.
Bill,
There
I
you
thought
go.
that was just for hard drive backups redundancy.
Yeah, but anyway, the one I got it for $16.
Well, well, you can't beat that.
I think I got
$16.
two batteries, and the blue model, the blue premium model, $16. What happened, John?
We lost.
And look, that sound that we had some sound in here, some static had disappeared.
What?
John was bringing.
Yeah,
Should we show it? Should we throw him the life preserver?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
His
tell
air
him to bring
conditioner.
static back.
Did you hear Ron busting about? Well, the feedback's gone now.
No,
air
it's there.
conditioner or something.
Everybody's
It's
like,
not
"Oh,
me. I got earbuds in, so it can't be me.
Bill,
Yeah,
Bill, you're
yes,
right.
it is. When you bounced out, that static went away.
I don't know
thank
what
you,
it
Art,
could
for
be from.
taking the bullet for the whole crew."
Hey, John, don't feel bad. I had a cricket yesterday. Damn cricket the whole time.
And I get blamed for echo, so don't feel bad, John.
That's
But Bill makes a
fine.
good point. For this cheap price, you get 2 batteries with it, John.
Let me see if it's still available. I have to go. Y'all keep talking.
And I'm gonna tell you what battery it is, John. John, it's a 3.7 volt, 300 milliamp.
It's a little one cell.
How
long does it fly for?
I got about 5 minutes flying outside on the deck.
That's not bad.
My backyard's pretty much wind protected, so
I'll be honest,
very little
look-
wind. You got 5 minutes.
Hey, it's
That's
still
not
here.
bad, especially for the
Holy
ducks
shit,
and stuff.
1380. 1380 is the price. Hang
You
on.
got that low, Bill?
Hang on. I'm going to
How do they
share.
make any money?
I don't know, but I'm going to share. You're going to see. You're going to see, man. You can
Dude,
see
those things cost them pennies on the dollar to
bullshit,
produce.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
can
right
see
there.
clearly now.
Here it comes right here, man. See it? $13.80.
For good pie.
I will reveal the coupon.
Wow.
That's not
Johnny
even a
D,
Walmart.
good
There
stuff.
it is,
Fixing free
man.
quads
Use
while you're
pay
watching.
$32.19. Just put in the code 70AIZMRY.
Where's the little trim switch in between the two controller sticks? There should be a little tiny trim switch.
It is.
Johnny, you know what? I fix stuff too when I
Either Ryan or
listen to
Brian
shows
said
and
the trim
stuff.
off.
By the
What do you
time I got to that trim, that thing would be long gone.
Okay, John, the one that I got from you has basically the same exact controller.
Yeah, it looks the
So
same.
the trim switch is the right switch. You
Yes.
press it and it beeps, and then you press up or down or left or right, whatever, to adjust your that way. But the cool thing is you see over on the left hand side, the button below, right there, is an automatic calibration button. You just set the sumbitch on the ground, press it, and it does it all on its own. You don't have to do the joysticks a particular way or anything. You just press the button and it calibrates.
Same thing for the E009, the little mini. Yep.
And look at that, 1380 with 2 batteries.
Good deal. Just get that and stocking stuffer it for Christmas.
The shipping has got to be more than that.
Look at this. Let's go to Amazon right here.
It's on Amazon, so you're not paying shipping either. If you have Prime, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the
Wow.
cap.
You can.
And John, it has 4-bladed props.
Oh, right.
That's,
Okay,
that's,
well,
that's,
that's-
Four
that's-
blades.
let me
And
copy
see
the
how well
code.
they're caged in?
Wait a
Like
minute,
they're real
let's see
protected
here.
too.
Let's see here. Add the
yeah.
cart. Add the cart.
So
Proceed
is
the
it
cart.
easy? Is it easy to get the ducts off though? If you need to like clean hair or something? out?
Yeah,
No,
I
I
haven't.
do not want
Look,
prime.
there's screws on the bottom, John.
All right.
Oh, okay. So that's good.
5845. I'm entering the code now.
Ron, does that fly?
Yeah, it flies real good.
Oh yeah.
Look at
Better
that.
than the Female Mini.
$23.12. But if I go, it's not giving me free. Wait. Monday the 16th with free shipping. $15.15.
What a ripoff.
Hey Jim, I didn't even adjust the do any adjustments to it. I just calibrated it. It flew perfectly. In fact, it has 3 rates, and rate 3 was a little bit
Wait a
too
minute,
sporty to fly on the back porch.
Unshare this one. I went ahead and threw it in the cart. I wanted to show you all. I was over here at Amazon, so let me show you. I went through everything. Put it in the cart. Put the code in.
And
There's the total coming up, folks. Right.
Whoa. We got some potential breaking news in the chat.
hey, Michael Blake.
I did not hear
Oh,
that.
wow.
Randall resigned?
I'm really sad if that's the case.
Whoa.
That's true, that's
He just
bullshit.
got there. He just
Yeah,
got
that's
there.
really sad if that's the case, man.
Yeah, because you know what's happened? They've closed the door on him. They've said, you're not going to do what you think you're going to do.
Well, I mean,
And he's like,
I don't
fine,
know.
I'm out.
You can't just assume, right? There's all sorts of
Let's
reasons
see.
that
Let's
someone
see.
might
Okay, we
resign
can
from
go.
a
Doesn't he have?
position.
He's on Twitter.
That's very sad. I really enjoyed original Dobo's interview with him. I thought that was great. Like, oh man, I feel less pumped for the idea of an Auto Mini.
Well, John, there could be a saving grace on this. Maybe he'll go be CEO of Phoebe now. Get them fixed up.
No, that's sad. That's really sad.
I'm not hearing. I can't find it. Maybe it's on Drone DJ or something.
Yeah, I don't see it either. And,
Anyway, look at. Can you believe that? $15.15. And that's after you enter the code. After you just accept the free shipping, that takes another day or two. And that's for 2 batteries. That's a nice little drone. Like John said.
Why would anybody order the mini SC where you can get this for $15?
Lauren
Why-
Dunauer just
why would-
posted in Calgary Drone Group. Wow, Randall Warnes, the new CEO, resigned today.
The Lauren
man.
confirmed it.
He left under bad terms, but says he has not left the industry. Oh wow, dude, that's disappointing.
yeah.
Maybe no Autel Mini for me then. Wow, holy
wow.
crap! Breaking news, Bill.
Maybe he shouldn't have told us about the Autel Mini or dropped in a hint.
Well, he's
Oh
I'm
man, what a
I'm
disappointment!
on LinkedIn right now.
He probably didn't rush to update his LinkedIn yet.
It says it right there. This morning, let me share this.
Share this.
This morning
Oh my
I
God.
resigned.
That's wild. That's wild, dude.
Jim, send your application over to Autel.
That is insane.
Holy shit.
I guess I should
This
shut my
morning I
messaging
resigned as
down.
CEO of Autel.
Oh,
Damn.
wow, let's take a look.
21 minutes ago.
As
Wow.
publicly as I came into the role, I wanted there to be clarity that my affiliation with the brand is over.
Wow.
Just
talk about
evaluation of
bad.
an employee with the company.
Bad,
Wow.
ain't bad ain't the word if he's saying that. Holy
Oh
shit.
wow.
That is insane.
Wow.
Oh wow. They
Wow.
definitely
What?
wanted him gone. Holy.
Oh, what the came down to an unjust evaluation of an employee with the company for 5 weeks, which resulted in receiving a termination letter?
For that person,
Wow.
which
Oh my
they
God.
expected me to sign.
But hasn't he been with the company about the same amount of time?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, it seems to me it's probably someone he's brought in with him,
Right.
that they didn't accept, or something in their background flagged, and he got pissed.
Yep.
I mean,
so he walked. Wow.
Well, he had that wide open approach. He wanted full.
Well, that whole point is that you can understand a company, especially a Chinese company, if something comes up in your background that is conflicting with their company ideals that you didn't disclose to begin with, and you're the new CEO and you're saying, this is my guy. I mean, I can get that. And it sounds to me like a little bit of, well, if you're not going to hire my best friend, I don't give a shit if he doesn't know anything about drugs.
Well, I mean, we don't know what the situation is.
Hey, one red flag, guys. Would somebody like Randall Wars actually have a profile picture rather than just the generic LinkedIn, a photo, photo thing there?
I don't
paying to be on LinkedIn.
I don't think it's bullshit.
No.
But I mean, I can't believe somebody like Randall Wars doesn't have a real profile picture.
Because he was just basically kind of an engineer kind of type, business type leader kind of guy.
A lot of people don't upload
there's not a whole
photo
there's not a whole lot of information on him on the internet if you Google him. You know, there's not a whole bunch of like you find more stuff about me or John than you do him.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have a big presence on the internet. At least not that I've
Very
seen.
interesting. Very disappointing to see him leave regardless, because from the interviews he just seemed to be a really down to earth bro. I mean, that's basically the way I can describe it.
Right, we had a real person run the drone company rather than like somebody sitting in Ivory Tower or someplace.
He's been with the company since June 1st, so it was probably
wow. It really is John.
So yeah, it's probably it's someone he's.
It really is
on.
me, huh?
It's someone he's brought on.
I don't know what it could be.
Oh, I thought the power had gone off here. I thought one of the fans had cut off. I'm serious.
It could just be your internet. It could be as simple as that.
Could be
your internet.
Wait a minute, what? He definitely breath fresher. Yeah, he really. I had high hopes for Altel because of him.
Yep.
Period. I really thought that because we're always constantly talking about, somebody needs to come along that can give DJI some competition.
Yeah, sure.
I'm completely. Oh, wait a minute. Was Bill here too? Hey, Bill's here. Hey, Bill, what's up?
Gary, I wanted the Femi Mini to succeed. I wanted Xiaomi to come out with something that was decent, because for DJI to be, on top of everything all the time, that's not good for us. That's not good for anybody.
And another thing too about it is that until somebody comes along that makes a drone that performs better than everything that DJI makes, because everything that they put out is like 100% better than everything else. What am I going to do? I'm not going to go buy Altel, like Johnny was saying earlier, because it's a step back. I'm not going to go buy a Femi when I've got a Skydio 2, a Mavic 2 Pro, because it's a step back.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right, exactly.
Hang on just a split. Oh, right. What, Art?
I gotta take off.
It's about that.
Gotta get ready for bed.
Yep,
Get up early. Another 10-hour day tomorrow.
Oh, have you got any good?
Art's lying to us. Art's getting his resume ready. He's sending over the Altel right now.
We go.
Do you still is it still bad news about your job, or have they given you more information?
You know what? I just signed up for my position, so when we move, I'll still be with the company.
You're gonna move? Where are you moving?
Yeah,
to?
the company is moving just 2 miles away from the current location.
It's not that big of a deal. Okay. So it's not like because you'd mentioned something about like Pennsylvania or something?
No, Indiana, because one of the departments is moving to Indiana, and now they've changed it where only those people in that department can apply for those positions.
Oh, okay.
Basically, what I did is I just signed up for my position. What they did is they said you got to sign up for your position, and if you don't, then we're going to assume you don't want to work with us.
Very
So
cool.
that's
Well,
why I
good
did.
news. That's
So
very
good
good
news, all right. But I
So
still throw my
hopefully
name in over
Tomorrow
all
or Friday, I'll know where the new location will be.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, so you can announce it on your show on Saturday night.
Well, I'm not doing a show Saturday. I'm going to be at a funeral for Rick Enstrom's son, who passed away about 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, I will put my foot in my mouth very soon, as I've already done metaphorically here on the show. So,
But on the 28th, I'm giving away a solar powered bank charger.
very cool. Very cool.
So
Tune in
check
and watch
that
Art
out.
on the 28th. And
And be a winner, maybe.
yes. Very cool. Thank you very much, Art. I'm glad you were here for my birthday, and I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Oh,
Good night, Art. Good
thanks
seeing
for
you.
having me, and great to see you guys.
Always a pleasure,
Everybody
Art.
in the chat,
You
take care.
Art.
Good
Yep.
night.
And I believe Chris is going to do the same thing. He needs to take off, so we'll let Chris say his good evenings as well.
Happy birthday, Bill, and everybody in the chat. Good to see everybody, and y'all hug and love and support each other and have fun with all this.
Oh, I like that. Hug and love. We need a shirt that says that.
Absolutely.
Hug and love.
You guys
Hug
take
and
care.
love.
We'll see y'all somewhere.
Good night, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Happy
Hug and
birthday.
love your drone
Stay
brother.
cool. Stay cool
You
out
take care,
there.
Chris. See you around.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you. Okay, so anybody else got anything to say, or anybody want to run away? Okay, cool. So, what do you know anything about anybody here that works with Apple software? Know anything about Motion 5?
I know what Motion is, but I've never used it.
I'm actually considering it's only $50 right now. But from what I'm looking at, you can do some really cool titling and stuff, and you all know how I am with intros and stuff like that. I kind of go overboard with that, and not so much with the lighting and the other stuff that people tend to say is much more important.
Yeah, I don't know how Motion compares to any other software in the same category.
I've put for $50, and it's Apple. I'm figuring it's got to be at least $200 Windows.
What was that Skylum? Wasn't that like $75 when it first came out?
Which one? We put, me and Ron have invested so much money with Skylum. It's funny. We should be speaking Russian by now.
Yeah, I mean, really,
Not alone.
people that say, "Well, I want to buy software. I don't want to get an Adobe's $10 a month for
There
the
you go.
Lightroom thing." In reality, Bill and I are probably saving pennies getting the Skylum rather than just getting the Lightroom bundle.
And to be honest with you, I mean, it's good, but it's not Lightroom. It's not.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have Lightroom's categorization and filing or whatever. As far as editing, I like it better in most cases.
Okay, I'll give you that much, but I don't think that Skylum's sharpening capabilities and refinements of the picture itself are as good as Lightroom.
Well, I mean, Lightroom has a lot of good things that you can't do with Skylum. Like, I like the new Lightroom thing that came out just a couple months ago, where you could take an old, like, say, 12 megapixel photo from an older drone or a phone, and you can like double it to like a 24 megapixel photo and not lose any quality. I mean, it doesn't just like kind of blow things up. You can turn it into you can double the photo quality. You can look on as big as monitor as you can, and you didn't degrade the photo in any way, and that's a killer feature. And Lightroom can not only patch HDR photos together, but it can also do panos real good. Believe me, Lightroom does a lot of things really, really well.
Yep, sure does. Jim, CBO.
Yes, you know
CBOs
what?
again.
I went and I put a comment into it. Like I said, I don't fly FPV, but I got my 2 cents in anyway. You guys know anything about this dark table? You ever heard of that
Dark table.
software? Let
No.
me see.
Nope, never heard of. What do you do with it? What's
It's-
its function?
I think it's kind of like, let me put it up there, Bill. It's kind of like a free Photoshop kind of thing. Click on an image, get full resolution. Dark table's light table mode. There's videos on it. I haven't really gone and looked at it because yeah, I take a look at all that open source software. You know.
No, I wrote it down. Something to check out. I like looking at stuff like that just because you never know. The thing about that stuff is there's always like one or two really cool things that they do that somebody else doesn't do. You know, and you play with the software for a week or two just because of that one thing. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, well, sharpening alone or getting out the spatial and temporal noise reduction.
Woo! What am I doing here? Hang on.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
gonna
Yeah, it's not,
I'm
it's
gonna
not
get
in my
fixed.
story.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to get it.
Put my cat up.
There we go. There it went.
So yeah. Which one did you wind up hitting? Because it didn't work for me the other night.
Wait,
either.
wait, John. I'm sorry. What? John had pussy? I'm sorry. Where's the cat?
I gotta get him.
Oh,
Run away.
Dark Table is a Lightroom.
You ran away from me.
Is it as good as Lightroom?
Oh no, I have no idea. No idea because I used to use GIMP, graphical image manipulation program.
Right.
Yeah,
GIMP's
I
been
remember
around
that.
forever. Yeah.
Steve, what do you use for photos?
I use a couple things. I use Affinity Photo.
Right.
Runs on Mac or Windows. It's awesome. It's cheap. It's one-time payment. No software subscription. Just really, really good. It's a Photoshop clone. For organization, that kind of stuff, I use Capture One. I used to use Aperture, which was made by Apple, but they abandoned it a few years ago. I really liked Aperture. Simple, easy to use, not a steep learning curve. It was kind of a Lightroom type program, but Apple got rid of it, I don't know, three to 5 years ago. So now I'm running on Capture One, which is awesome piece of software, but it's a subscription, super powerful, kind of a steep learning curve. So I mostly use it just to throw my photos up there and do, basic editing. The hardcore editing I do in Affinity Photo. But Capture One can do all that stuff. It has layers and all that stuff, but I just haven't had the time to learn it very well.
Oh, very cool. You can geotag your image.
And Steve, I have to agree with you on Aperture. I remember when Aperture and Lightroom came out about the same time, and I tested both of them. I'm probably going back 15 years, and I preferred Aperture, whatever.
Yeah.
I went with Aperture, and it was a superior program for about 5 years, and then Apple started losing interest in it, and it fell behind Lightroom.
It's too bad because I did exactly what you said, Ron. I tested both. I liked it. It worked well with my style. It was much easier to use, and I have humongous Aperture libraries.
Me too.
And I'm just I was kind of angry they abandoned it, but that's how it goes, I guess.
Here's my question, and I'm totally I love taking pictures, and that's the extent of my overall knowledge. But what do you need with something like Capture One? What does it do as far as organizing your photos and whatnot to make it easier? I mean, I don't understand it.
It's just like, with Aperture, it's just, I would store all my photos in a library, right? And I could categorize them, tag them, rate them, adjust them. And so they were all in this library, well organized. If I don't have a piece of software like that, they're just scattered to the wind all over my hard drive in different folders. And then there's no keywords, there's no tagging. And it just becomes a mess and unwieldy very quickly, right?
And a program like that can handle a lot of photos too. It doesn't choke on 5,000 photos or something like that.
I just realized this kind of gives the show kind of a comic book like frame. Look,
like the Brady Bunch kind of.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it looks more like something you would see in a comic book, like the breakdown, because you've got the two little like advertisements at the sides.
Hey, Steve, with On One, can you run everything off, put all your files on an external hard drive and run it like that?
With Capture One?
Capture One, yeah. Can you run everything off an external drive?
I think that library can exist anywhere.
So just like Lightroom. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm pretty sure I haven't actually done that. I honestly, I've only had it for maybe 6 months, and I've not done a lot with it. It's just usually I dump my photos into it, and I go through and I make my selections, and then I'll pull them out, and then I'll do my final edits in Affinity Photo.
I have the same setup with Lightroom. I dump everything in Lightroom and then do the finer edits in the Skylum products.
Yeah.
So you pay monthly for Lightroom, Ron?
I've been paying the $10 for forever.
I like it when they do that, but what kills me is they'll have you doing what Jim's still looking at some stuff.
And I get Photoshop for that $10, but I never use Photoshop.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is when they'll give you the deal, they'll say, "Oh, we're going to give you everything for $19.99 a month," and I'm like, "That's a great deal. Okay, I'll do that for a little while." And then you'll do it, and it's fantastic. And then all at once they'll say, "Oh, well, we're going to have to raise you to $29.99 a month. Do you want to cancel now?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to cancel now." And then no more than 2 months later, they'll say, "Hey, we've decided to have a sale again, $19.99 a month." And I'm like, "Forget it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that again."
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the subscription model, because it's like, okay, I'm invested in Lightroom, I'm paying my $10 a month, and then you're paying that $10 a month till the end of time, or otherwise your libraries are useless, right?
Right.
But they've kind of got you hooked.
Yeah,
That's right.
And then I need 5 different programs, so I'm spending 10 here, 20 here, a few bucks other places, and it's just annoying.
I mean,
back to something you said a while ago about sharpening, whatever. I mean, to be sharp, it used to be a big deal in the old days, but I take a lot of iPhone shots now, and I find them to be over sharpened to begin with. Same thing, most drone photos I take are over sharpened to begin with. So most of the time now, I'm unsharpening rather than that. I'm taking away from the sharpening rather than adding to it. Which way were you talking about, Bill? Were you talking about trying to make them more sharp or making them less sharp?
Confining the pixelation to the point to where it looks like an actual object when you look at it closely. Like if you're doing a tree or something and you'll work on it a little bit and it might be like slightly overexposed, and then you do a little refinement on it and it just whacks the tree. You can see it's like really archived and blocky and stuff. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is Lightroom in its smoothing process tends to refine the photo enough to where it doesn't look like a blocky, choppy, like something you animated on an old computer to resemble a tree. And that's what I'm seeing, almost like the Hubsan soft focus issue when I'm doing something with Skylum product as opposed to when I'm using an Adobe product. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
So
you're worried about sharpening just particular objects in the photo and not necessarily the whole photo.
Well, not necessarily. Okay, I get. Okay, you know how you're looking at a picture and it'll be a really, really good edit, but like one little section of it was either a little too dark or too light, and they didn't put a gradient on it or something to adjust it before they did it, and it just they threw the whole adjustment on the whole picture, and so that little section is off, and no matter how much you look at it, you keep getting drawn to that section because it's just not right.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean,
right. Yeah. I'll tell you, I don't want to go down a Skylum rat hole here, but like mostly when I take drone photos and I put them in Skylum, the first thing I do is I go to the structure and take structure down because it's like most drone photos they're too, it looks too sharp, too structured right off the camera. I like to take that structure down a little bit and make them a little softer.
So you, in your opinion, maybe Ron, my photos are too crisp.
Right. It's opinion. The key word there. It's all opinion. What's a good? What you think is a good photo? Do what you think to make your photo better. Don't go on what anybody else says or thinks or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You go with your vision.
Well, because if you don't, you're going to be disappointed in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing. If you're doing it for somebody else's money, then you're going to do
that's a different story.
The best job you can possibly do to make them happy.
Right.
But if it's something that's yours, then you're going to edit it. It's like I did a couple of pictures. Let me see. No, that's not it. I did a couple of pictures the other day. No, yesterday, as a matter of fact. Let me do the black and white first.
Leonard, what are you using as a photo asset manager?
I don't.
Sorry, Bill.
Who are you talking to?
Squirrel.
Oh,
Leonard.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Leonard is Squirrel.
No. He says a photo asset manager is essential. I wanted to know what he used.
And I still have no earthly idea what to do with a photo asset manager.
I mean, you could, Bill. You could do as simple as you could just put all your photos in a folder file someplace and categorize them by year, month, date, or whatever, and just go into use Skylum and just go right in and use that file system right there. So you could create your own file system on your own, but it won't be as good as using Lightroom or something.
I still don't really like this. The edits I did a black and white, and Jackie was saying that she didn't like this one as much because she felt it wasn't contrasty enough. Okay, but I kind of like this one because it looks like almost like a pencil drawing, like someone sat down and with just a hard pencil and drew it, and that's why I like this one as opposed to, let me stop this.
And see, and if you went too high on those mid-tone details, it would look like you're talking about like it was all the leaves had sharp edges on them and stuff.
Right?
Like
yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. Or they would be like little blocks, and just not look right.
Jim Leonard uses Lightroom.
Okay. The thing is, you know what, Ron? I've got so many photos that I should have started doing that with, and especially with DJI. I mean, because you know how they're numbered.
And there's the color edit that I did. And most everybody likes the color edit.
That's not bad with the differing colors. I like that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, I could, I could go either one. The first one has something more important. The color one does too.
A lot of people were saying that each one had its different aspects. Like I said, I think the lines in the black and white photo are better, or crisper, as it were. And this one kind of gives more of an at ease sunset tone, And but this was taken with the Mini too.
Right.
Let me go in here.
Shooting RAW or JPEG?
That's from a RAW photo.
Okay, good.
Let me do this. Okay, let's see. Are you in here? Oh, come on! I thought I put you in here.
I know that on that
Anyway.
2 Pro, you actually have to go to -300 to undo the sharpening that it automatically does on the Mavic 2 Pro.
Okay, this is something too. Did you all notice? Didn't the old drones, the older DJI drones, only go to a -2 EV? Because now, if you go onto the Mavic Mini, you can go as far as -3, or as much as +3. Yeah. Now, wasn't it -2 at one time, or did I just never go that far?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I know. So I don't even remember using that on the Phantom 4.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we've been on for 2 hours, pretty much almost.
If we stay on any longer, Bill will have another birthday.
No, well, I'm not going to drink any more alcohol, and I'm done with that. I feel better now because I've had my one energy drink, so I'm more coherent now. And I just wanted to say, it's because about that time, I think everybody's got to do some things with their family, and I'm glad to have had everybody on, and I'm very grateful for everybody here. And at that point, I'm going to go ahead and pass it around the room and let everybody say their good evenings so that I can go spend some time with my family on my birthday. First off, I'm going to go to Ron Brown.
Thank you, Bill. And again, I want to wish you another happy birthday on the way out the door
we
here.
Heard about Randall Curtis.
Sorry I was late, but I'm glad I could be part of the show. And we had an esteemed panel tonight. Many great folks in this panel tonight. And I'm going to pass this over to my good friend, John Cuppi.
Okay, I'm going to interject just a second. As you can see, Curtis came in, and we were like, yeah, we'd already talked about Randall quitting this morning.
Very disappointing.
I'll tell Screwed. Yep, we know that completely.
But I'm gonna put my application in tomorrow. I would love to run Altel.
Ron, that would be great if you were CEO.
And over to John.
Guys, good night. Bill, happy birthday. It was a great... I'm glad we got to spend birthday together here. It was a great chat. Good stuff. Always good to be on the show. As always, Bill. And, yep, I'm going to go throw it over to Steve.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Bill, for having me on. Always a pleasure. And happy birthday. And thanks to everybody who showed up in the chat room. And yeah, I always like being on here and listening to what you guys have to say about the ever fascinating world of drones. So yeah, good night, everyone.
Over to Jim.
Good night, guys. And I would say, Bill, 56. You're just a youngin', man. To catch up to this old dog, yeah.
I'll trade my lower back and intestines to someone younger if they're willing to trade. I know that didn't really a good thing to end the night.
No, but don't.
I'm with Jim. I would love to be 56 again.
Yeah.
But well, anyway, with my health issues, I don't think it would be great for anybody to be 56. I'd rather them trade it in for stem cells and get something new out of it. Anyway, no one needs a shave. What?
A little bit.
Mike's busting your balls.
It's a little rough. It needs.
We got a dress code on the show now or something?
I guess so. Dress code.
All right, let me get over here. I'm going to find
if John shaves, he'll definitely get that CEO job over at Altel.
Oh yeah, I guess so. You know, they're looking for people who are prim and proper. I guess this is not going to fly.
Oh, John, you just have to be willing to fire your best friend.
That's true too.
So John, don't hire me as one of the executives because if they don't like me or whatever, you'll have to can me.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll just say, no, hell no. It's either me or him. Or if you won't hire him or you won't keep him on, then I'm quitting too.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, I wonder how much you were paying him. Wonder how much money he walked away from. Bill, you got
not enough. Obviously, it was not enough.
He did some insane power marketing for them all in these last couple of weeks. He's been everywhere marketing and. Wow.
Hey, everybody on this show in the chat, email Altel tomorrow and say, hey, since you made our favorite CEO resign, we're never buying another one of your products.
Hell no, everybody send in your resume.
I'll do that along with a letter.
Here's the thing. They're going to have somebody.
Yeah,
right.
But we wanted actual competition against DJI, and even I wanted Altel to exceed.
Well, but the whole point is something happened with an employee not involving Randall. Why did he quit?
So that's a story we have to follow.
No offense, man. I'm not going to pin my job on somebody else. Not unless it's my wife.
If he's CEO and like it was me and you and I had you as the production of manufacturing, you know, I could trust that you would do. We were in sync, and it was getting done. I think.
Right? Okay. I totally.
Look, those Chinese don't like us in the first place.
If you're gonna bring someone in as part of your crew, then you're gonna make it contractual.
I sat with Chasing Innovations at CES 2020, and at the end of CES 2020, they fired the U.S. crew.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
While we're standing there, instead of saying goodbye, thank you all for coming, they fired everyone. Yeah, that's the Chinese. They just want your money. So I better shut up now.
That's okay. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen and people. It was great to have everybody in the chat. Next week, we're going to do something crazy and wild, talking about drones as usual. We don't know for sure who all is going to be here, but hopefully it'll be me and Ron and maybe John and Steve's always welcome if he wants to come. But until then, live long and prosper.
Happy birthday to you.